Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the NE4, which is done by NF Acoustics, who was formerly known as NF Audio. So back at this point in time when NE4 actually came out, they were known as NF Audio. Just recently they've switched over to NF Acoustics, but this one will still have the old branding on it. And here it is. This set goes back a few years, so it was always a cool set. And really what sets this set apart are these removable, swappable faceplates. So the tuning and the control over the crossovers is actually stored, electrically inside the faceplates. They had a pretty cool, almost a pogo pin style faceplate back. So, makes contact with those right there. And there was a corresponding set of pins on the back of the IM. So that was cool. I mean, it was pretty unique. And it still, I guess, is still kind of unique. I think in the past couple of years, we've done lots and lots of switches. I don't know if anyone has really approached this style again, but certainly if you pick up the NE4, you still get the pop faceplates, you still get the transparent faceplates, and the gray ones are the reference ones, which are the ones I liked. So here you can actually see the graph of all three of those. So the pop one does have a big bass boost. The reference one, I call it the balanced one. It is very much in balance with bass and treble. It's actually a very nice. I think that was actually the one that has the best name. And the transparent one, they kind of tilted the bass down and brought the treble in, so it has that kind of more of an upper range sound to it. So what is it? It is a 4 balanced armature set, and again, it's called the NE4 for 4 balanced armatures. Those are Knowles, and they are the 22955, 29689 looks like, and 31736, which is actually a dual. So I've got 3 numbers listed, but the last one I think actually is a dual balanced armature set. And you get the 3 pairs of replaceable faceplates with different tunings. And as I said, these tunings and these faceplates actually affect the crossovers and how the balanced armatures are actually used for the tuning. So you can actually see how all 3 of those are kind of split across the 3 or 4 different balanced armatures in that way. So the sound, again, like I said, I like the reference one. I think the pop looks fun, but I think the reference and the transparent are closer to NF Acoustics or NF Audio style at the time. More appropriate for the driver as well. I think that those 2 tunings, these 2 with the lower bass shelf and the nice extended treble, I think those were pretty much solid balanced armature style tuning, and I think that they brought out the best of this particular set of balanced armatures in that way. If you are a stage person, you pay attention to balance. That is pretty much the referenced one. The other ones, the bass is too much bass, and it kind of clouds into the mids and affects the stage in that way. And going down lower is also an interesting one. If you don't have enough bass and you're slightly below neutral, you kind of lose the depth as well, and that tends to affect stage as well. But again, as I said, the reference one is going to be the one with the best balance and the best stage. For me, taking the bass too high or too low will shrink the stage is kind of what happens on the other faceplates. So is this one similar to other NF Acoustics or NF Audio Pro style sound, right? They have a whole series of NM2s, NM20s. Those are their professional series. Those have a particular tuning, which is actually a really boosted vocal section right there. And I will say, no, these are very much a relaxed ear gain version of their signature. So I wouldn't say that they share that much in common with tuning with the Pro series. And I think, again, the use case is quite different, and the ear gain is much lower on the NE4. So this is more of a enjoying music as opposed to monitoring or mixing or performing is what those professional series are really designed to do. So the $749 question, right? That is the price tag that you typically see on the NE4. Again, this one came out, the set and the price goes back to about 2021. So while it was a novel concept 3 years ago and it still sounds quite good, the price is kind of high. In 2024 dollars, what you can get for $749. I think the replaceable faceplates, obviously a novel, unique solution, something different that you don't find in any other set, so they can certainly charge what they want to charge. But, when you judge it on tuning and sound quality that you're getting from these particular Knowles drivers, 2024 is a bit different than 2021. So on the bass, again, balanced armature bass is a bit of a divisive sound, which is another reason why I like the reference. It doesn't push the bass too high or go below neutral. I think it sounds fine as that complement to the mids on genres that really aren't led by bass. And that really is the point on most balanced armature basses. The ones that don't have the dedicated balanced armature bass driver, they tend to be full range bass drivers, and you tend to get some amount of bass presence, and it tends to want to fill in, I think is what I said. It really wants to fill in the lower mids to have that proper weight and tonality, and that's exactly what you get on NE4. It's exactly what you get on other balanced armature sets. You know, some of the different ones that have that really big balanced armature bass driver, those are slightly different. Those have a fuller bass style and maybe a little bit closer to a dynamic driver, but the ones that tend to use full range to use for the lower end, you know, they tend to all sound a bit similar in that they have, you know, enough bass presence so it sounds natural, but not going to fool you into thinking it's a dynamic driver. And on the mids, again, balanced armature mids should be very well defined, lots of clarity, lots of speed, sound detailed, sound dynamic. Not much of a surprise that that's exactly what you get here with these Knowles balanced armatures. Again, with the reference, it has a really nice balance and allows the mids to be open and revealed. No extra bass, no extra treble here, so the mids are the focus, and it's actually a really nice tuning for balanced armatures. Treble, again, much like the bass, the complement to the mids is in reference. It sounds very neutral, which is how it should sound for the amount of extension that they got. You don't want too much of a boost. You don't want too much of a boost here. They tend to mask each other. So again, the reference style tuning on this faceplate is actually pretty spot on for balanced armatures. Nice and smooth out to the upper treble, enough balanced armature air to add size to the stage and give it a nice big open sound. It's very nice to hear an unforced treble in 2024. So again, this one, if you actually look at where the levels are, it's not really forced compared to a lot of the recent 2024 sets are kind of riding way up there on the Harman Target treble levels. Those tend to sound just a little bit forced. It's kind of like pushing some detail or resolution or ability to resolve further out, so everything sounds super resolving. And to hear it, you know, kind of rolled back in a more natural way is actually a nice surprise. So again, this is the NE4, been out for a little while. NF Audio kind of changed their name to NF Acoustics. They were interested in kind of sending out some sets to refamiliarize yourself with what they did in the past and look forward to what they are going to do in the future. So thank you guys again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.